Good morning, good morning, Professor Martin. I'm Jacob,
I'm Joel.
I'm Michael Penfield.
I'm Nathan.
and together we are Mom. I'm going to pass it off now to Joel to go ahead and walk through our code.
Yep, so we're going to walk through our code, a little bit of the code that we changed, the changes that we made this week, and what changes we want to make next week, and additions we want to make next week. So, what I did, a big thing here that I needed to change the core settings to make sure mobile would work. And now mobile does work to access the API. That took a little bit. I had some struggles with that because I didn't know what was going on. Um, and for preferences, I changed stuff to use bearer tokens instead of the token we were using before because the token we were using before we couldn't get to work with Postman. It was inconsistent, and bearer token was a lot more usable and friendly for us to use. Um, I further built out our recipe from URL function or services for that. So you can give it a URL and it'll use this recipe scraper package to scrape the information from it and then it'll put it into the database. What I want to get done next week on this is to have it done in have the LLM correctly execute in case the website that the user gives is not supported by the scraper. And Jacob, you want to take it from for your auth context?
Yeah, I'll take it away. So yeah, this week one of the main things I did was implement the login screen. If you just want to scroll through here, there is a sign up function, there is a login function, and you can see our posts to the database. And we'll do a demo of that whenever we actually present the front end. I also worked on the meal planner portion of this. Um, I updated the component that we use for the calendar because it looked a bit janky last week. And I also connected this calendar to the backend as well. You can scroll down, you can look at our posts, patches, and deletes for those as well. Um, yeah, I'll show you all this once we go through the front end. I'll pass it off to Michael now.
So thank you, Jacob. So a lot of what I was working on was I refactored this file because I had some I basically had one generic function for preferences and allergens for the this is for the profile page for preferences. And that wasn't going to work because the type of data is different. So a lot of what I did is here at the bottom, it's called um I'm going blank. It is called preferences search or something. List there some list preferences or something, but it is essentially the function that gets hit for looking for the pre-fill list for the front end for the dynamic list for preferences. And that's a lot of what I worked on the back end. I plan on moving on to I plan on well, I guess for the back end anyway. I plan on doing some preliminary research and development on uploading images and how to analyze those images in order to extract information to get new recipes based off of images.
Great.
I'll pass on
Now that
Nathan.
we've looked at, huh?
Sorry. Should I
Did
pass
you
on to
have
Nathan?
Nathan? Did you want to talk about something?
No, we'll save my portion for the end.
Okay.
Okay. I guess we can look at the Postman. We have our Postman collection. We can first we can log out because I'm already logged in. So we can log in using our credentials that are just in the body, root and pass. Very insecure, but so we get our bearer token here, and then we can use that to access all of these. For now, I'll just show getting the recipe list. Now, this won't actually give anything because we don't have any recipes in the database. So in the mom's front end, let me just show you how we can add a recipe from a URL. Now, this all recipes is a perfect example. The Mexi chicken avocado cups, quite appetizing, really. And we can add that recipe.
I will. I was a witness to it working right before this.
This was working right before this.
The demo curse strikes again.
There we go.
We have very
I don't know
advanced
what happened
logging
there.
for when we aren't signed in.
Oh, I think I know what happened. Our bear token expired for that. Oh, because they got a new token. That's right. Because they got a new token. So it renders perfectly. We got our ingredients for directions or servings and nutrition information. Well, now that I have that token, I'm gonna have to get a new one. So here we are. And we're gonna list our recipes. And this is our 12th recipe. So we're gonna copy that. And from the recipe ID, we're gonna get recipe 12 and get the data from that, which includes the image URL, the description, the source URL, and all the steps and everything about it. You can click the name of it to pull up the recipe page, and you can add it to cart. You can see the request going through for the cart. Actually, add to cart, and every time you change it, it'll patch it to increase or decrease the amounts in the cart. Next, what we want to do is create components for the cart and a list and figure out how we want to. I guess Nate can talk about that now.
Yeah, our plan is to have kind of a shopping list or shopping cart that is broken down into a flat list of ingredients. And some of these ingredients are going to be tied to recipes and some are just going to be ingredients. We were kind of thinking and brainstorming on how we should organize this on the back end. And we're thinking about having like a group ID that is like the recipe ID that groups the ingredients in the shopping cart list so that when we do end up patching the cart, it can change the quantities of just the ingredients that were in that recipe and not all of the ingredients in the shopping cart or other recipes. So that's kind of what I plan on working on next week, is trying to complete that kind of connection between the ingredients and everything else.
And hopefully it can get the starting of interacting with the Instacart API as well, so we can figure out how to just add all those ingredients to cart at once.
Speaking of Instacart, we, after applying a month ago, actually over a month ago, for access to their API, we finally got granted access to that a few days ago, actually. So this next week we will be experimenting with that because they provide tools to experiment in a sandbox environment and send fake orders to stores, but with their actual API structure. So we'll be experimenting with that next week. Joel, if you want to go ahead and log out here so we can go over the login screen. Here I created a login screen. You can go ahead and just pretend to click don't have an account, sign up. You just sign up with the username and email and a password. And yeah, new user. And we're in. So now, since we're on our profile, we're going to have access to our own meal plan. If you want to open that, I updated the calendar, as you can see here. And now you can just click add dinner. And right now you can just type in steak. And we are going to pretend that that worked. Don't know. Did you get a new token again? Is that?
No, I just logged in.
Yeah, we just logged in.
All right. Well, pretend that you see a steak under dinner. As again, that was working about 30 minutes ago. So that's cool.
Maybe if I refresh. Nope.
It'll
Okay.
work next week, we promise.
It'll work next week. Don't worry about it.
That's what we're
Just
doing for this
visualize
next
a
week.
working
We are making that
application.
work next week.
Take it away, Michael.
What am I supposed to talk about?
Did you do anything for the front end?
Unfortunately, no, I did not get around to doing anything on the front end.
That works. Anyone have anything else?
Nope.
No, I think we're good.
Well, anything
Right.
committed.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Professor Martin. Thank you.
Thank you,
And,
Professor Martin.
Thank you, Boss Man, and
See
or
you next
Under Boss
week.
Man.
Thank you, Grader.
Thank you, Guader.